2 years after the explosive eruption of La Soufriere, most of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has returned to normal. But for some people in the red zone, the area closest to the volcano, they are worse off today than they were before La Soufriere erupted. Among them is George Byron and his family, who for the last 2 years have been living at the kindness and mercy of other people. And he wants to remind the government that, as the Prime Minister has asked, he is still waiting.
My name is George Byron, and I'm from Overland, as everyone known as the Red Zone. The issue with my house since the 9th of April 2021, since the La Soufriere has been blown, it destroyed my house and leave it in this condition where you can see the walls around the house being cracked in a way that if you move these rafters up there, the wall maybe will be coming crumbling down. And from that time, since I've been displaced, living in Cane Garden, and just about now, I don't know where I stand with the government by getting my house built back or repair. I don't know if it's level 3 or level 4 you think, or level 1, I don't know how they have it. But however, I've been always keeping in contact with the authorities to know where I stand with them in order that I get my house repaired or built over or something of the sort. However, in 2021, after the Soufriere has been blown, while I in Cane Garden, I went to the Prime Minister's office to make him to know that I am still there with my house damaged. And I did not saw him, but I interact with the receptionist and she told me to wait. Then after being waiting there, she came back and she told me, the Prime Minister said to bear with him, in 3 months' time, he will fix all the house. Now exactly 2 years, and I haven't got anything done to my house. I don't know where I stand with them, as I said before, and I'm hoping to get an answer after this news that I'm doing here. I just want to let them know I'm still waiting, and by waiting, I don't want to come here and bash anyone, but I just want to talk the truth. After went to the PM, I overheard on the news, radio and TV, I read the newspaper, overheard that Mr. Daniel said that people in the red zone that get the house damaged to follow mobilization. I did so. I went to the PS of mobilization. She accommodated me, and then she called a gentleman by the name of Mr. Peters. And Mr. Peters, when Mr. Peters answered, well, that guy is better known as Pellico. She said to Pellico, I would say Pellico, she said to Pellico that I have you on speaker and Mr. Byron sit down here now listening to you. Pellico say, no problem. He continued to relate his conversation to the PS in the presence of me and saying he carried all the names of the houses in the red zone that been damaged to Mr. Daniel. And Mr. Daniel said that he's not building back George Byron house. For what? I don't know. It's very funny. Because for one, I know the government collected money to help everybody who been damaged in the red zone, put it into house. And I think they are obligated as a government, they said, to make sure everybody get back in their respective place or a safer place. But here am I. This still remains the condition of my house. However, I went to mobilization again to the minister, and I explained to him of the condition of my house in this time. He called Mr. Daniel, he spoke with Mr. Daniel. What he said to Mr. Daniel, what Mr. Daniel said to him, I don't know. However, he took my number and he said he'll find out from Baxter what is happening for me. He'll call me. Up to now I haven't got a call. But in the space of time I was with him there, he said to me his ministry is not responsible for building back house. It's Baxter. However, one day I went down to Baxter in town. I met the guy who is in charge. He said he'll look for my name when I explained to him. Then the next time, he said that they lost the list. They say I must come to Orange Hill at Baxter, where they them control of repairing house. But Baxter in town responsible for building over house, not to repair. However, I went in Orange Hill, met a young lady there. She asked for my ID card. I gave to her. She ran to the computer. Then she asked for my number. After then I gave my number. She said that you must bear in mind, this day since you come here, the material finish and work close down. Don't know when they will start again. However, she said she will call me when they start. Up to this time, I don't know if Baxter start doing any work yet, but I'm still hoping and trust that they will do something for me reasonable. Because right now, I am penniless. I lose all my crops as a farmer, a certified farmer. Which you can see I'm saying now that I lose my house. I have a vehicle. I also lost it in the process of time. And seeing that I have a son who had an accident in 2011, sorry, the 12th of January. And from that time of that accident, I have an account in the bank and it went dormant because of the accident of my son. I just skinned my pocket inside out. And so at this point in time, I'm financially embarrassing. I can't help myself financially to get my house back. So I'm saying this to say that where I'm living in Cane Garden, it's not belonging to me. It's a lady that putting us up there and paying the rent and bills for us. However, if I drop to get some money, I will help the situation. But to say the government is helping us being displaced as a vacuum, have nothing to live from, they are not doing anything of such for me. And so, I am still here in this deplorable condition where I am helpless of building back my house and suffering to put food on my table for my family.
And you're speaking to this exactly 2 years since the volcano erupted?
Yes, please, 2 years since the volcano erupted.
Tell me a little bit about this home, about the rooms, the size, who lived here with you?
Well, this house, I think it is 24 by 25. But I have an addition behind it which make it a little bigger. But air finish. I have a family of 4 living with me. Myself, George Byron, Patricia Limblet, Joanza Limblet. Well, my wife is Byron now, I should say. Limblet Byron. Giovanni Byron. And so, these are who are living in this house. So we have a living room here. We really build the house like for 3 bedrooms, but seeing that We didn't have much money at that time when we built the house to put a kitchen on it. We used that room for our kitchen. And so actually we have 2 bedrooms in the house, and this is the living room here.
So you don't have any internal plumbing? You have a bathroom inside?
It doesn't have a bathroom inside. However, I had a share in Teachers Credit Union, and I went and I borrowed a loan to make that addition on the house behind there, what you see in there, to accommodate a washroom for my son. Not even for me, as for him, because it's a problem of he walking to go to the washroom. So with that, I spent a lot of time to pay back the loan. Did not able to pay back the loan on time, because as I said, I doing farming, and sometimes whatever I put in, sometimes I don't break even, I lose. And so because of weather patterns, as I said before, and I come up with a bad hand with the credit union, can't pay them back at that point, especially after the accident of my son. My whole family been rude, and so I could not pay back the loan to take my share for the loan. And so right now, I only have little money, about $500 and something on my share in Teachers Credit Union. At this present time now, you see it's not livable. And so that's why I'm here, to let the authority to know that I am still here waiting after the PM did tell his receptionist to tell me, bear with him. Now, not too long ago, they have Parliament, I hear he's saying still to bear with him after he gets into 2 years. I still bearing with him. I ain't come here to say bad about him, but to say what I know is happening to me. And I think I deserve the right, as a citizen of this land, work for this country. Now I am 66 years of age, I'm supposed to get little public assistance, if they wish to grant it to me. I have to go to the representative. Eventually I will have to walk with a stick on the back bend before they could give me a public assistance. This is the way they are treating poor people like me and others. It's not good.
But Mr. Byron, also, I think in the interest of full disclosure, you should also say that you had a foray into politics. You were involved in politics at one point.
Yes, please. I did involve in politics in 2015, which I compete the general election against Mr. Montgomery Daniel for the DRP, Democratic Republican Party, as to say, with Alicia Batiste. I was one of the fully candidates of that party, of which they know. And I don't know if it's there they are running spite for me, don't love me again as they used to be before, if they were ever loving me. And this is where things turn tail, where I can't get no help from them and I only being victimizing. Other than that, I have to be begging down where I live in Kingarden for lands to survive. I have some farmlands down there. Well, house packed. I take it as a farmland, because I planted.
When you say I, do they belong to you?
No. People, because I said before, I beg people for
so you beg them to allow you to farm the land? To
farm the lands. And they told me, yes, I can farm. They're not looking for anything from me. But however, when I farm whatever I get, I give them a fraction from it. And I use the rest in order that I try to save, in order that to see how I can help myself. If possible, I can get money to get my house. I'm still making an effort. But right now, I would like to know what the government have to do for me.
So essentially what you're saying is that your priority is to get a house repaired so that you can return to Overland.
Yes.
So if you were to return to Overland, how would you be able to sustain yourself?
Well, right now, I have some lands in the mountain just above me here, about acre and a half, my own. And I have like some crown lands, about a half acre renting from Lands and Soufriere. But right now, for the devastation of the Soufriere that leave upon the earth, cover all vegetations, maybe I would say it have about, say, 50 inches of particles of ash and rocks.
50. That's more than 4 feet.
So, these lands is very hard to dig, to cultivate, in order that you get production from them. Because what I see and know, planting certain crops in these volcanic soil, they would not survive to the fullest. They will grow up and then start to wither away. So you have to dig all these things in order before you meet the good earth to plant your stuff. I'm a old man now, I can't do these things. I went to Nemo, I went all over to all of them. And all I get in is a pushing around. And I don't like to be pushed around. I don't like to wait in vain. So I continue to try and strive for myself on these lands down there. I met Mr. Caesar up at Lakwa. At that time I had some cucumber I plant on those lands. So I understand that they're buying at that depot. So I call a guy, somebody give me a number to call. And when I called, the guy said, bring cucumber. So I carry. They must take about roughly 2 months before they pay the money.
How much money?
I think it was 200 and something dollars. They take about 2 months roughly to pay it. And when I went there, Mr. Caesar, Minister of Health, all of them were there. I saw Mr. Caesar, I interacted with him. He gave me his number and he told me to keep in touch with him. I keep in touch with him. When I call him, he not answering me. I message him, he not answering he not reading my message. Till sometimes I notice he read the message. If I send a voice note, he will see it, but he would not listen to it. I noticed all that on the phone. So I said to myself, well, this is the way he wants me to keep in touch with him. I said, this is a funny way. Sometimes when he do respond to me, he said, what's up? I said to him what I said to him before. Well, I said to him, I have a greenhouse frame and I have a piece of land where I can set it up, somebody give me in cane garden. He told me to bring an invoice because I told him I need saran to make the surrounding. I need some plastic to cover the roof. I need a tank, I need a sprinkler, necessities that I don't have. I asked him for. I do so. I locate where I can get the plastic. I get an invoice. I send it on his phone to him. He said he get them. And up to now, nothing can happen. It's over about 6 months now, since last year. And the sun is battering me down there. The things them are drying up. I send evidence of what happening to me there on the farm. Lack of water, I'm losing what I planted. I bought a packet of sweet pepper seeds for $375. I've been losing that because I planted no production because no water. They said that they'll give me a tank, they'll put down the greenhouse for me. I went to him one Friday. He bring me to Mr. Gums. He told Mr. Gums to bring a tank for me. Mr. Gums told me Friday, right, better the Monday. From the Monday they keep promising from Monday to this day and this day. And up to now, they can't get it out. So I called Mr. Gums this morning and I said to Mr. Gums, I said, Mr. Gums, I didn't get the tank. He's saying transportation problem, trucking, which that is one of the issues from day one, he telling me about transportation. So I said to him this morning, I said, look, I can get a truck to come for the tank. He said to me, Mr. Byron, the tank is not with us. They are with Baxter. Baxter have them in Camden Park and Hartley Hall. And they can't send another truck to Baxter for a tank. Why they are not bringing it for me? Complaining about the truck they had. It's a new truck, but since it came, it working, and they had us to service it sometime when he promised to bring the tank for me. He even promised that he will bring a truck with water and pump water in the tank. All that never happened up to now. So I'm still waiting, I'm still pondering on how it's going to be for me in the future, coming up with me and my family. Not working, don't have a job to get a monthly salary. Knowing farming is a down-to-earth thing. Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't get. And the above that I mentioned, climates, weather, causing me not to achieve. But I'm a very strong farmer. I don't give up. And so, in this, the farmers here are very poor, and I think the government should walk along with the farmers much better than they are doing. They are doing to help some farmers, but not all the farmers. And their statement is to help every farmer, none should be left out. Black water, the bottom turning black. Well, this land here is a lady named Miss Jocelyn. She living in England. But I get hooked up with someone and they told me about the lady, and I asked if I can get the land to do so. She tell me yes, I could get the land, but she have a niece. When I plant, give her something, so I have to give to the lady when I plant here. But for the whole time I plant in here, I suffer about 5 crops losing here. Last time with the heavy rain we had, and then we have drought now, and then I just losing all the time and can't even get to give the lady. As you can see, broccoli, cabbage, tomatoes, lettuce, and down there's some pop choy, all drying up, nothing safe. And I have some eggplant over there they hardly can bear because I didn't have water. But at this time I got a pipe there, the pipe born in water. I get about 3 Saturdays ago. I applied for water from CWSA, and here they bring a pipe for me, but for the time the pipe came, all these things were burned down by the sun. Well, for about 6 months I been checking Mr. Saboto for a tank, and I make him to know that I have a greenhouse frame where I would need the covering and the surround to go around, and he told me to serve him vouchers, and I serve him them things, and up to now they keep promising me to give me a tank. He bring me, when I went to him one time, he bring me by the chief of Soufriere and told him to give me a tank. Well, since then they keep promising me, I'll bring the tank Monday, I'll bring the tank Saturday, I'll bring the tank Tuesday, I'll bring a truck and pump water into it. Up to now I see the truck with the water, I see the tank. Up to now everything being on a standstill with me. I need help here badly, because after the last Soufriere eruption, here is where I find myself to beg people for a piece of land to keep my livelihood. And right here now I have the land. I planted how many times and then can't reap nothing much because of the changing of the weather pattern. And so I am here suffering along with my family. We're living on the other side of Cane Garden there in a rent house, as I said before, where someone is putting us up there and paying the rent and the bills for us because we have no income coming in. I retire, I'm 66 years old, and then I have no job. Even though I go back and ask the government to give me a contract they would not give me. But politicians gone retire and going back and get quality jobs where it have young people who they educate, revolution education, and have their subjects could able to manage the same jobs that the politicians going back and master after done do so much and redeem all the ownings. Retirement age is still going back to work and have hand-to-mouth people who have the qualification could do the jobs and they're not giving them the jobs. So, as far as I'm concerned, most of the people in this country are living in poverty. 43% of the people are living in poverty, including me and my family. And I don't think the government respect me and my family to treat us this way. That we being evacuated and being displaced up to this point in time. 2 years and must be about a week now, I think. We are down here suffering. For the time we are down here, we beg for more than half of the time we're down here to get food to eat and even to get some clothes at some times. Still, we still need.
On Tuesday, 18 April 2023, 9 days after the initial interview with Mr. Byron in Overland, Eyewitness News was denied permission to film water tanks that the government has stored at Otley Hall Marina. On Saturday, April 22, 2023, workers from the Ministry of Agriculture delivered a 450-gallon water tank to where Mr. Byron is farming in Cane Garden. But Mr. Byron, I would presume that there are other people who are waiting for their homes to be repaired. What would you say to people who would ask the question, what is so special about your case?
Well, I would say to these people, what is so special about my case? I am displaced at this point in time after 2 years. Well, today make it 2 years to be exact. 9th of April. I think who is displaced now don't even get the house repaired or built back. I think they should likewise do like me. Come out, let your voice be heard, and let people know what we are going through. Not myself alone, but us.
So are you saying that maybe your situation is not unique, but what you're doing is talking about your situation?
Yes.
And if there are people out there who might be in a position to help you, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say to the people out there who are seeing me, listening to me at this point in time of the evening, I would say to them, if I ever, whatever I say, I touch a soft spot in anyone's heart, then I'll be grateful if there is any assistance that anyone can offer to me and my family to get back our house. I will be very grateful.
And how might they be able to contact you?
Well, you can contact me at 1-784-454-3884. That's my number. You can contact me.